I'm going to go over with you a few things I do when prepping for tour. First of all, I've got this little, I'm going to call it a trapper keeper just because that's what I called it when I was growing up. Inside, they have this one particular pocket which I keep filled with greeting cards. These are like birthday cards, anniversary cards, condolence cards. That way, if something happens on the tour, you got some special event or something, you can address that. So I keep those zipped up in here so I don't have to go running and hunting for them. Because these things pop up, people will come up to me and say, oh, you know, it's so-and-so's birthday. I didn't know that, but now I'm all ready for it. Inside the binder, I've got tabbed slots here. I keep these separated by day, so day one's going to be here, day two, and I just work my way back, and if there's more than I need, I'll put it in the way back here. The other thing, I can keep pens and things like that here, name tags. This is probably the most critical thing I keep. It's a clipboard, obviously. I always keep a clear clipboard because that's in case if I'm meeting somebody at the airport and I have to put the name of their group on the back, I can put it right there while holding my clipboard looking for them. The clipboard always has my daily itinerary, usually for day one and day two, just because people frequently ask me, oh, tomorrow, what time are we, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of which, and I'll deal with this more later, but I do have the highlights for tomorrow. So these are all the things I'm going to talk about when we pull into the hotel on Thursday. People are going to want to know all this. 60, 80, partly cloudy. They want to know the temperature so they know what to wear. What time's breakfast, what time bags out, what time we depart. Those are the highlights. I might add other things, but every single day I always cover those things right before the last time I see them until the next day. Now, going over here, we've got, these are bag tags. So the bag tags I number 1, 2, 3, and they correspond to a list I have here. So when the bags are brought out in the morning to the bus, I just have to match the number to here, and then it's a lot easier for me to go down and check off the bags that way than to try to look at each of their names. Not only that, I always have a rooming list that I'll keep underneath this on that clipboard. So at the beginning of the morning on that day, this will be the top page of my clipboard, and right underneath it will be the rooming list. And that way I can quickly figure out whose bag's missing and what room they're in. I've got name tags for this upcoming tour. These are divided into 3 different packages because the way we work our tours is we pick up at 3 different locations. So I've got these based on our first pickup, second pickup, third pickup, and then of course you got rubber bands to put all that stuff together. I will talk extensively about bag tagging separately because it's such an important thing, but I also bought these little wristband style things like you get at concerts, and you can just write a number on it, wrap it around the bag tag, and quickly have that bag tagged. We're doing a little differently this tour for another reason I won't get into right now, but I also I do not take the scissors. I try to do everything I need to cut beforehand. This is how I handle the seat assignments. So I will take everybody's name and a tape, and then I'll show you later. I'll put that on the bus so I can tape it up. Sometimes you can slip it in on the seats, other times you can't. Always have these. Sometimes the hotels struggle with how to put bags away, or you need to number, maybe these don't work. So I always have these little stickers. They're little white dots, and I can put them on the bags and mark them. Extra things you can have. This is a bag full of extra pens and 3x5 note cards for when I play games on the bus. I can hand those out quickly, and I don't care if I lose a 3x5 note card or any of those crappy pens. I also keep, well, I don't. I gotta give my girlfriend credit. She's the one that came up with the first aid kit. There's emergency blanket. We're starting to put together meds, a little medical kit. So as far as meds go, I know plenty of guides will tell you never to give or administer meds, and you know that is legally 100% true. The thing is, let me give you an example. We had 4 people, at least 4 people with very bad diarrhea the day before we were supposed to leave Cuba. You know what? I handed out my anti-diarrheals. I'm going to take my chances on that one. I thought it was much better to make sure our clients could get on the flight the next morning and fly home than it was for me to say, oh, I can't give you any meds and have them stuck, and me stuck. Dealing with that, you know, 4 people who can't get on a plane because they got to they got to take a crap every few minutes. All right. So anyway, that's my view on meds. You know, you got to decide what you want to do, but in the end my goal is to take care of my clients. Anyway, in addition to that, we're doing, we had several people get sick on the last tour, so my girlfriend ordered a bunch of masks for those who want to opt to wear a mask when they're feeling sick, and we had about 3 or 4 people wearing masks on the last one. Got more pens, can never have enough pens. We got this little Hallmark video. You know, I work with seniors, they love Hallmark videos, so we try to get a video that's appropriate to what we're doing. We're doing fall colors, so this is fun. We've done the Biltmore Christmas and Christmas at Dollywood from our last tour. My girlfriend also puts together these journals. Well, they're blank journals with a picture of where we're going, and then that way people can write in their journals. They can write notes. They can play the games without the note cards. So those are the main things. We tend to try to get them into separate baggies. These are great. All these little baggies, you can keep this stuff organized and then put it into a bigger folding bag. In that case, I try to get away with this little bag here. This is my Disney bag, but it can hold all my food. I've got nuts here if I need little snacks, got a little chocolate, and then that's all for me. The rest of this will go in the bag too. This is treats for if they win some of the games that we play. And then of course you got trivia. These are great, man. These are so nice because they're tiny and they're just true or false and quiz games about world trivia. So it keeps you busy with stuff to do on the tour. Well, that's about it for all the physical materials I put together for my tour. And in other videos, I will show you my digital content.